Every day in real estate, you encounter new challenges. It's part of what keeps the job interesting. And I'm here today to tell you a little story about a negotiation that we just went through and how, with a little bit of extra effort, we were able to help a client get a contract to sell his home, whereas probably 80% of realtors out there would have not pursued it and waited for the next buyer. But instead, here we are, almost through inspections, and we'll be closing on this deal later this month. Hi, it's ODESSA KEILMAN. I am your local realtor team leader and here to tell you a little bit about the negotiation process in the contract. In this channel, we're not only going to share information about how to buy or sell a home, we're also going to do home tours and tell you about some of the best neighborhoods here in Arizona so that if you're thinking of making a move, we are going to be a wealth of information. So please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Now let's go on to our story. So in this situation, I have a listing. This is a pretty unique property and we put it on the market and it had just been on the market for about 2 weeks. Now we had priced it at a little bit of a premium because it did have some unique features. We were hoping it would sell quick, but after 2 weeks, we saw that the showings were pretty similar to some listings that actually had been sitting a while. So sellers were ready to negotiate. Now, we received an offer from a buyer and it was quite low. And when the buyer's agent presented it, they said it was their quote, highest and best. Now, you may be wondering what that means. Well, in the time of when real estate in Arizona was really crazy and there were multiple people making offers on a property, sellers would come back and say, just give us your highest and best, hoping that buyers would increase their prices and therefore sellers would get a better price from their home. Now, in this situation, we had one offer, one buyer, one seller, and we're trying to work with it. So the buyer presents his offer and says, this is our highest and best. I had a conversation from the seller. It was just too low. It was below what they were willing to accept. So I called the buyer's agent, had a conversation about them, about the comparables in the area and what we really felt the property was worth and how they came up with the number. Well, the buyer's agent just said, that was his client's number and that was it. Don't even bother responding with a counteroffer. Either accept it or they're going to move on. I talked to the seller and we decided that we would counter and we would do it in writing. So we did. We came up with a counteroffer that was somewhere in between, of course, our list price and the buyer's offer, and we sent it over in writing. The buyer's agent received it and said, I told you that was their highest and best, but I'll present this to them and see what happens. Well, lo and behold, a day or two later, we got a counteroffer back. So the buyer had actually come up a little bit in their price and was much closer to what the seller's bottom line number was. So as the buyer presented this offer to me, he said, I can't believe they responded. That was their highest and best, but they've thought about it. They really want this unit. They're willing to come up a little bit more, but this is it. No more counteroffers. This is now really their highest and best. So we sent this third counteroffer back to the buyer's agent, and it was less than $2,000 different than the first counteroffer we had sent. So not making a whole lot of movement, but sending something back to the buyer again. And guess what? They accepted. So had that really been the buyer's highest and best, and the seller would have accepted it at that low price, they would be substantially below where our contract price is now. And with that, we're going to have happy buyer, happy seller. So remember, who you have represent you either on the buy or the sell really makes a difference. A good realtor is going to be a strong negotiator and they're going to advocate for you and they are going to try to work with each buyer or each seller that comes along that's a good match for your needs and bring an offer that meets your needs. So just because a buyer or a seller says this is the highest and best, it may or may not be, but you'll never know unless you negotiate. So if it doesn't meet your requirements, there's no harm in giving it a try. So I hope you found this information helpful. It's just a little insight into one of the many things that a good realtor is going to do for you as a buyer, seller, or investor. So if you're interested in learning more about how we help clients, please go ahead and contact us through the link below and we'll be happy to help. So thank you so much for watching and have a great day.